Before we begin, just think for a moment. What if one day the door behind you closes and never opens again? No sunlight, no phone, no one left who can hear your voice. Now imagine this. What if the person who locked that door wasn't a stranger, wasn't a criminal from outside, but your own father? My name is Sarah, and this is my story. It was the middle of the night when everything felt like it was slipping away. I was sitting in the back seat of my father's car, holding my daughter Marie as tightly as I could. She was struggling to breathe. I was screaming at my father to drive faster. When we reached the hospital, he carried Marie inside and leaned close to me. "Don't say a word," he warned. I watched doctors rush my daughter away while I stood frozen in the hallway, my heart pounding so loudly I thought everyone could hear it. 20 years earlier, I was just a teenager. I remember sitting at the dinner table telling my father I'd be late because I was going to a party. The look on his face changed instantly. He said my attitude was disrespectful, that I didn't get to make my own decisions. My mother tried to calm him down. My sister offered to take me. He shut it all down. That was my life. Every move monitored, every choice controlled. So that night, I snuck out. I met my boyfriend, Chris. We laughed, we danced. For a few hours, I felt free. When I came home, my father was waiting. He questioned me, studied me, reminded me who was in charge. That night, I promised myself I would leave the moment I turned 18. I had no idea what he was already planning. 3 months after I graduated high school, my father asked me to help him carry a box into the basement. Then he moved a bookshelf. Behind it was a hidden room, a concrete shelter with no windows. When I pointed that out, he just looked at me and said, "That's too bad." Before I could react, the door closed and locked. I screamed. I pounded on the walls. I tried the door again and again. Every failed attempt shut off the power. The lights went out. The air slowed. That was the moment I understood. This wasn't punishment. This was imprisonment. Days blurred into weeks. My father controlled everything. The air, the lights, the food, every sound I made. Outside, he told my family I had run away with someone else. 21 days later, he came back with a chair and a tiny cake. It was my 18th birthday. He gave me a red dress and told me to put it on. Then he said I could ask for one thing. I asked to leave. He said no. I asked for a TV. He said I had to earn it. So I asked for a clock. He agreed. Before leaving, he told me to stop calling him Dad. From that moment on, I knew. He didn't want a daughter. He wanted control. I tried to fight back once. I made a weapon from a can and attacked him when he came down. It didn't work. He was stronger, faster. He crushed my arm beneath his boot and reminded me who owned that room. After that, I learned something important. Survival isn't just physical, it's mental. A year later, I found out I was pregnant. I gave birth alone in the dark, using a book he had left behind. I named my daughter Marie. When my father saw her, he said motherhood would give me purpose. Marie grew up underground. That basement was her entire world. I taught her to whisper, to hide, to survive. I had more children. I convinced my father to let one of my babies go upstairs. I hid a note for my mother inside his clothes. My father found it. The punishment was brutal. But one thing mattered. My son was free. As Marie grew older, my father started paying attention to her. That's when I knew history was trying to repeat itself. I put myself between them every time. I told Marie stories about the outside world, about sunlight and schools and freedom. I warned her never to trust him. I tried escaping again. I dug into the ceiling for months and pushed a note through a hole tied to a rope. I thought someone would help. They didn't. They told my father instead. The beating nearly killed me. Later, I lost another child. I held my baby in silence while my father stood there like nothing had happened. 20 years after it all began, Marie couldn't breathe. I begged my father to take her to the hospital, and that's where everything finally changed. When he stepped away, I told a doctor the truth about the basement, about my children, about the years stolen from us. Police came. My father was arrested. My son was rescued. For the first time in 20 years, sunlight reached the place where I had been buried alive. Freedom didn't erase the pain, but it gave us a future. After 20 years of silence, fear, and control, my story finally belongs to me. And if there's one thing I want you to remember, strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it survives quietly, waiting for the right moment to escape.